Hello everyone, we are back with another episode of Need to Know in 5. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the balance box and why I invented this really cool push toy to help children with walking. As I had discussed in the previous episodes about gross motor and whole body movement, it's so important for our children to get those opportunities to optimize their development, to get those 3,000 to 5,000 repetitions to develop their gross motor skills. So, as a mom and physical therapist, when my children were learning how to walk, of course, I looked at the other products that were on the market, the seated walkers and the push-wheeled walkers. And for me, they didn't work for a variety of different reasons. And so I set out on a mission to try to make my own baby push toy. I designed the little balance box to be able to work on a variety of floor surfaces in the home. So let me tell you a little bit about the balance box here and why, as a push toy, it looks so different from what's on the market, but it serves a lot of great purposes to help our children with their developmental skills. First thing most people notice about the little balance box is it looks like a box. And this was one of the things that I took into consideration when I was designing the balance box, because what do babies love to do? They love to push around cardboard boxes because it has that stability that comes from being in a square shape. So with that, it also has this really good surface area on the top for the little ones to put their hands and forearms wherever they need to feel counterbalanced and safe. There's a lot of variety here to put their hands. They're not just having to put their hands in one place to hold on. It's also ergonomically designed, so it's very easy for them to move it back and forth and keep their hands in place with this little surface here. Their hands don't fall off the sides. It's made out of eco-friendly bamboo, so sustainable, got to be eco-friendly these days. Has a plant-based finish, so that's really important because children at this age, what are they doing? They're teething. And so we wanted to make sure that it was safe in case they were nibbling on the edges, so there's no toxins there. Plant-based lacquer keeps it clean and very easy to wipe off as well. The clear top is made out of polycarbonate, has a cool little drum sound, teaches cause and effect, also helps with visual acuity and depth perception. And then the feet are nylon. And what's unique about the feet is there are springs in them. So that also helps with the stability of the balance box and developing their gross motor skills. Lastly, the little balance box has a dual function. It can also be used as a toddler table. So that's what's great about this. It's more of a lifestyle piece that can be kept in your home for a longer period of time versus a traditional children's product that they're only using for a couple months. With the balance box, they can use it much longer because then they can use it as a toddler table. It's a perfect height. They can sit on the floor, a lot of open space here for their legs, and then they have this large surface to maybe eat a snack, coloring, play with different items. So makes a great tabletop activity space for them at the perfect height. Let's talk about some of the questions that I get with the balance box. The first one, the big one, is what age do I start using the balance box? And so a lot of walker products out there are recommending starting as early as 6 months of age. And that's just crazy to me because all children are different at 6 months of age. Some kids are sitting and crawling and other kids haven't even begun to work on those gross motor skills. So I recommend the little balance box once your child has mastered a couple different gross motor skills. The first one is, can they move independently from sitting to side lying and rolling back and forth? This is important because it shows us that the child has developed their gross motor and trunk control to be able to have that independence and coordination. The second thing that we look for is your child able to start taking some independent time in standing? So are they starting to pull to stand and then moving their hands or moving one hand at a time? That's also showing a grasp and concept of their coordination and developmental skills. Lastly, is your little one going from kneeling and pulling to stand on their own? Again, with this skill, the little one knows how to put their hands or forearms wherever they need to feel counterbalanced and safe, and to lean forward to stand up to use the balance box versus going backwards. And so this is actually a really critical skill that we look for when we know a child's ready to appropriately use the balance balance box is when they know that when they're kneeling and they put their hands, they come forward, and then that's when it stabilizes for them to transition to the standing position. So lots of information there as to when it's the correct time to use the balance box. We have a great reference checklist on the website, and we also include it with the balance box, so that way it helps give parents and caregivers a little bit more information about when the appropriate time is to use it. We're also always available for any types of questions, so if you're not sure, reach out to us and we'll be happy to talk to you and give you a little bit more information if your little one's ready. But we always have to remember that children at this age, they're learning and they're still practicing. So even though they may already have these skills developed, we always want to make sure that we're with a little one when they're using something new, and especially as they're developing these skills, because they still might need a little hands-on assistance from the parent, caregiver, older sibling, just to help them get that coordination and learning how to maneuver the balance box. So please make sure that you are with your little one and spending that bonding time as they're learning this new skill and learning how to use the balance box with their standing, coordinating, and walking skills. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching the Need to Know in 5. See you next time.